lives. For more on this story, we're joined from Hamburg by Jochen Bittner, journalist for newspaper Die Ziet. Thank you for speaking with us here on France 24.
Thank you. Good evening.
Recently, you've traveled to the northern Irish city of Derry, and you penned a piece in the New York Times where you argue that if the Troubles return, it will signal the defeat of one of the continent's great post-war achievements, that Good Friday Agreement. What was the mood like in Derry?
Well, I traveled along the border from Derry to South Armagh. You know, the Irish border is a C-shaped border. And I met with two former members of the IRA, the Irish Republican Army, the terrorist organization. And, well, they both quit with the IRA in the 70s. But they both told me that two things might happen. Down in South Armagh, where the border, basically the border between the Belfast region and the Dublin region, you have an amazing presence of fuel laundering facilities. The IRA, as those former members told me, is laundering diesel, is involved in smuggling. And it was, back in the old days, it was a way for the IRA to finance the war. And some of the main figures of the IRA, they gained personal profit from this. Now, those people are still there. They are a mafia-style organization. And this old IRA is actually looking forward to a hard border because with cleavages in pricing between North and South, they will be able to gain even more money from smuggling and diesel laundering. The second group is the so-called new IRA that has claimed responsibility for the bombing in Derry in January, which luckily injured no one. Now, this new group is probably consisting of young hotheads, young militants who are sparked by the idea that once again in Irish history, the British are taking away democracy from the island.
Yeah, taking democracy away from the island. And regularly, since 1998, there have been little splinter groups that here and there piecemeal have done one or two actions. Did you get a sense, more generally speaking, to people that the population had the stomach to return to the bad old days?
Well, the locals that I met, they were very decided that they won't tolerate any new border installations. It's a bit like if you would imagine that a new visible border would come up between East and West Germany. I mean, psychologically, it is, it beggars belief that this should again be possible in Europe. What they also told me that in the first stage, once border installations would come up, it would be rather apolitical people, like farmers, business people, local people who would just bulldoze down anything that either the EU side, the Irish side, or the British side would set up there. Custom houses might just be burned down, or power lines cut through. People may take angle grinders to demolish cameras up on trees or on steel poles. So that would be the first move. The locals who got used to traveling to and through the border, it's very closely interknit, those communities. Farmers go by on a regular basis. You can't even see where the borders once run. So the idea is that locals will take action and just do away with whatever might spring up there in terms of border.
You wrote in that piece, Germany has its regional differences, but there's no doubt that we are all Germans. Not so on the island. You really have the sense that it's a cold peace in 20 years later on?
It is. And actually, if you travel around Belfast, you will see that the so-called peace walls between Catholic, Republican, and Protestant or loyalist communities, they haven't vanished. In fact, some new peace walls have been built recently. So there is still a huge level of mistrust. You still have people who believe that on the other side of the wall, it's evil people. You can't trust them. So this still looms large in Irish society or Northern Irish society. And of course, you still have people in, let's say, West Belfast who would regard themselves as solely Irish. On the other hand, you would have people in East Belfast who would regard themselves as solely British. But you do also have a new generation which regards itself as Northern Irish. They have an own, modern identity. But the old voices, they are still shrill.
Northern Ireland voted 55% to remain in the European Union, and yet propping up Theresa May's government is the unionist DUP party, which is pro-leave. What do people make of that?
Well, there are those who say that the province of Northern Ireland itself documented the will to remain part of the European Union. Now, if the province is being dragged out of the EU against its will, that would, resemble what the British did to the Irish on numerous occasions throughout Irish history, namely ignoring the democratic vote of the people. That happened with the first all-Irish parliament back in 1918. This again happened during the civil rights movement in the 1960s, late 1960s, when Catholics were denied human rights, basically. Internment happened, and the British government crushed down hard on the civil rights movement. And to some people, it feels like history repeating, and the Brits just not getting that you have to treat the Irish as, even-minded people with equal rights.
And Jochen Bittner, one final question on this, because right now you have Theresa May with this minority government. She needs those 10 votes from the DUP. If there is a snap general election, do you get the sense that the whole Northern Ireland question gets forgotten in London amid the Brexit debate?
The whole Northern Irish question has just not been considered, or just had not been considered prior to the first referendum in 2016. I do think that today, should there be a snap election or name it a second referendum, it would actually be very much in the center of political debate.
Jochen Bittner of Die Ziet, many thanks for joining us from Hamburg.
Thank you. Cheers.